Today, a grateful nation and the men and women of the United States Coast Guard pay special tribute to BMC Adam Graber on the occasion of his retirement after 20 years of distinguished service. Just as this is the conclusion of one phase of his life, it is the beginning of another. So our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish him every success in the future as he looks forward to new challenges and rewards. I extend an especially warm welcome to Chief Graber's daughter, Madison, who is with us today, his father, Hal Graber, his cousin, Mike Levine, and his wife, Laura, and all his family and friends viewing online. At this time, it is now my honor to introduce Lieutenant Wallen, the commanding officer, Station Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you, XO, and thank you to all who have braved this new normal, the masks and a little more spacing than we are normally used to. Whether that's here in person or at home battling the technology. I know we had some technological issues. Hopefully everyone can see us online right now. I hope all of you are and continue to be healthy throughout this pandemic. First and foremost, I want to welcome Chief's family, as XO did, that was able to be here today. Madison, great to see you. It's been a while since you've been at the station, and it's good to see you again. His father, Hal, thank you for coming. And cousins Mike and Laura, thank you guys for driving down. Appreciate it. I would also like to welcome his family from afar, up in New York and around the country, who are turning in and watching online. Welcome. It's probably a little warmer here than most places. We've got a beautiful view, and we hope you can see it on Facebook there. So a special shout out to Adam's mom, Robin, who wanted to be here but could not, and is hopefully online with us. And finally, Adam, thank you for allowing us to throw you this awesome birthday party on the occasion of your retirement. Let's take a minute real quick and sing happy birthday, shall we? Let's do it. On my count, everyone, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adam. Happy birthday to you. All right. Excellent. I hope you're once again older than me, and at least for the next couple minutes, you hold the mantle as the saltiest dog at station. This is not normal, but at this point, I'd like to congratulate the crew. Not so much the crew that is already fully qualified at the station, but those that will not have to go through a qualification board chaired by Chief Graber. Adam, your questions are legendary, and you would never let anyone out of a board unscathed, especially me. All right. This is a testament to your knowledge and skill as a boatmate, though. You have a keen understanding of Coast Guard tactics, techniques, and policy, making you an outstanding trainer and evaluator, and we're going to miss that very much. So much so that our auxiliary partners dislike being evaluated by you almost as much as being evaluated by Mark Brody, right? Mark, come on. But I digress. If Chief Graber was on the pre-board or award or check ride, everyone knew it was done to the highest of standards. I appreciate having the complete confidence in your ability on the water and in the classroom. Now for a couple small anecdotes about Adam. First off, I may have been late to the party, but who knew that he was a bowling aficionado? I don't know. Whatever it is you call great bowlers, he was one of them. I had no clue. We almost went with a bowling thing for the retirement when we found out about multiple games of 300. Amazing. I'm lucky to break 100 on the bumper lanes with my kids.
My dad taught me.
Al, great job. Madison, did he pass any of those skills on to you? No? Regardless, remind me never to go bowling with you guys. What I will do with Adam, I'll go running with him because, man, he hates running. Hates it. For being so in shape and always surpassing our station athlete standards, it was never the run that allowed him to do so. It's a good thing you can do push-ups. Hopefully CPP doesn't have a running test, and you'll be all right. Another thing I and many around the station quickly realized was Chief's affinity for coins and the stock market. First, the coins. One day Adam comes up to me and says, "CO, I need a favor. There's this coin I'm planning on purchasing from the mint. However, they only let you have one, and I need to get a couple of them. I collect them, see? He says, would you mind buying it for me, using your address, and then I'll buy it back from you once you get it. Maybe we should turn off Facebook. I don't know if we can do that. I said, Adam, is this legal? Can we do this? And he's like, of course, it's no problem, don't worry. I did worry, all right? I worried a lot. However, I went along with his plan, and then I almost fainted when he told me it would cost $2,000. Still, I went along with it. He immediately paid me back, and then a couple of days later, I asked him about the coin, and that he had bought for $2,000, and he said, "Oh yeah, no big deal. I sold it for thousands more than I bought it." I don't even remember how much it was worth. But needless to say, the next time he asked to buy another coin, I followed his instructions to a T, and I bought my own. So it worked out. Now, the stock market savant over here. Sitting in my office, I hear a lot of things being said around the building. Yes, I can hear everything in the offices, just so everyone knows. The first classes have found that out. Anyway, I start hearing Adam's voice talking to this person and that person about this stock and that stock. And now if you watch it online and act quickly, then you can make money off this stock and that stock. Soon thereafter, I started seeing people constantly on their phones, checking their stocks. They were all talking about it. Essentially, Adam became the Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know, maybe he was the Lobster of Lauderdale, I don't know. But all I know is there's a text thread with how many people on it now? It seems like more than that. He probably have multiple going on. If you need a stock tip, hit him up afterwards before he leaves. But before that, your loyal stock market followers would like to present you with a token of their gratitude. May not cost as much as a coin, but
Thank you for your financial advice, and thank you for your service.
says BMC Adam Graber, he's the real funds manager. Alright, I want to start wrapping up and get the show on the road, but I would be remiss if I didn't address Chief's relationship with the auxiliary. He was just as much a part of Division 3 as he was of Station Fort Lauderdale. They are one and the same. I don't think anyone will disagree with that. His support of this all-volunteer organization was and is without compare. From QEs to flotilla to division meetings, he was at them all. And would always be the first to volunteer to work with them in his off time. The unwavering support we have from our auxiliary family is due in no small part to Chief Graber and his efforts throughout the years. I know we will miss you at the station, Adam, and I know Division 3 will miss you just as much. A round of applause for Chief Graber and his outstanding support of Division 3 brothers and sisters. Finally, I would like to thank Adam's real family. He would not have been able to achieve all that he has in his career without the unwavering support and love that you have given him. I was just talking to Hal before this, and he still remembers the day he went to boot camp, and Adam graduated. He was part of the honor guard, and I got to see him in that. None of that is possible without the support you guys were able to give him, so thank you for that. No one can do this job this long without sacrifice. In Madison, you have seen that sacrifice firsthand. We'll miss seeing you around the station, like I mentioned, hanging out with your dad. I'll miss hearing about your adventures at the trampoline park. Hopefully they reopen soon, all right? Get back out there. I know for a fact that your dad made you a priority. He did everything in his power to stay down in South Florida to finish out his career, and I know it was absolutely worth it to him. All right, now on with the show. To more formally recognize their efforts over this past tour, Chief Graber, would you please join me? Come over here.
Attention to award. Citation to accompany the award of the Coast Guard Commendation Medal, Gold Star in lieu of a second, to Adam N. Graber, Chief Bosun Mate, United States Coast Guard. Chief Petty Officer Graber is cited for outstanding achievement while serving as First Lieutenant and Operations Department Head at Station Fort Lauderdale, Florida from June 2015 to August 2020, demonstrating superior leadership as the station's senior tactical and pursuit coxswain. He expertly led operations at one of the service's largest and busiest stations, coordinating the execution of 3,629 law enforcement boardings, 417 search and rescue cases, and 8,207 mission hours. He trained and mentored 26 new coxswains who saved or assisted 469 lives and $10.1 million in property. As lead instructor for 3 National Association of Safe Boating Law Administrators Search and Rescue and Tactical Operations courses, he directly strengthened local, state, and federal partnerships, improving interoperability throughout the community, and saving participating agencies more than $87,000 in training costs. As patrol commander for 3 Winterfest boat parades, he led multi-agency security efforts for one of the nation's largest spectator events, ensuring the safety of 1 million observers with a $48 million annual economic impact. In 2018, as auxiliary liaison, he managed 300 boater education initiatives, directly contributing to a 30% reduction in search and rescue cases in the unit's area of responsibility. These significant accomplishments are a culmination of a distinguished 20-year career. Chief Petty Officer Graber's dedication, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. The operational distinguishing device is authorized. Please be seated.
Stand by.
Madison, if you could, please join your father on stage in the center. Lieutenant Wallen will now present Madison with a certificate of appreciation recognizing her support of her father's career. The certificate reads as follows. It is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Coast Guard to you for enduring separations from your father while he served his country. You should know that your father's successful career has been challenging and required unselfish devotion to serve others. Your father was required to do Coast Guard work that prevented him from spending more time with you. He would have preferred to be home to help you when you needed him, but his outstanding work in support of our country was also very important to your future. Your understanding has been essential to his success. The United States Coast Guard thanks you for your support. Given this 17th day of June 2020, signed Lieutenant Derek Wallen, Commanding Officer, Station Fort Lauderdale.
Station Fort Lauderdale bump that she definitely deserves for sweating out her dad. So here you go.
Now the presentation of a letter from the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard. It reads, Dear Chief Graber, I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to you on your retirement from the United States Coast Guard. Thank you for the significant contribution you have made to the safety and security of our nation. Your dedication to service and commitment to your shipmates is most commendable. As you reflect upon your time in the Coast Guard, I hope that you reflect fondly and are proud of all you've accomplished. On behalf of the entire enlisted workforce, I wish all the best in retirement and encourage you to stay engaged with the Coast Guard. As an active retiree, you can continue to advocate for our service. Thank you for all you have done, Semper Paratus. Sincerely, Jason M. Vander Hayden, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard. And now the presentation of the Presidential Certificate. It reads, For service in the Armed Forces of the United States, Chief Petty Officer Graber, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. And now the presentation of the retirement certificate. Certificate of Retirement from the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Chief Boatswain Mate Adam N. Graber, having been retired after honorable service in the United States Coast Guard, is awarded this testimonial as an acknowledgement of duty faithfully performed during a period of over 20 years, done at Washington, D.C., the 17th day of June, in the year of our Lord, 2020. Signed, Carl Schultz, Admiral, Commandant, United States Coast Guard. Chief Thompson will now present Chief Graber with his shadow box.
Tradition holds that a retiring sailor is presented a shadow box. The tradition dates to the days of the wooden sailor ship. According to some accounts of naval history and tradition, sailors, being a superstitious lot, considered it bad luck for the sailor's shadow to touch land before he did. To prevent this, his shipmates would construct a sturdy box, handcrafted of the finest materials, into which were placed mementos of the sailor's career possessions that had been collected during his many voyages. These mementos, the shadow box of him, if you will, would be secured in the box until he was safely ashore, thus ensuring no bad luck would befall of the sailor. And while sailors remain a suspicious lot, today a shadow box is used to highlight the accomplishments and achievements of the uniformed service member to the nation. Placed within are personal representations of the shadows of the service. For a sailor, those shadows consist of personal awards, medals, duty station, insignias, rating badges, and uniform devices that represent the totality of a memorable career. Once the items are smartly attached, the national ensign is placed inside the box and firmly secured. Upon sealing the box, the ensign now stands the watch. The ensign now stands the watch for all to see as payment to kind for the member's dutiful service to the nation. Chief Graber, it is our honor to present you with the shadow box.
Petty Officer Terrell will now read the watch.
Good morning. Today, the Coast Guard, am I on? I pulled the chief, I'm sorry. Today, our Coast Guard has given the most pomp and circumstances to honors and traditions and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to do these things from the past, but we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, drop anchor, and pay homage to one of our shipmates going ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship this shipmate has freely given over these 20 years. I will now read the watch. For 20 years, Chief Petty Officer Graber has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trades, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, before some of us were even born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years, when the stormy clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, Chief Petty Officer Graber stood the watch. Many times, he would cast an eye ashore, see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during these hard times. But he still stood the watch. He stood the watch for 20 years so that we, our family, our fellow countrymen, could sleep soundly and safely each and every night, knowing that this sailor stood the watch. Today, we say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved by those you've trained, guided, and led. Chief Petty Officer Graber, we have the watch. In keeping with naval tradition, 8 bells signifies the end of watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium one final time, Chief Petty Officer, retired Adam N. Graber.
It's the best birthday I've ever had.
Get it? Am I live? All right. Well, here we are, my 40th birthday. Best birthday ever. All right, so I wrote down a few words here. And, when I come up, the wind starts coming on. Nothing need fair winds. All right. I would like to thank everyone for coming out today. Off-going section, prior shipmates, friends and family present, and family and friends attended around the country that are unable to be here today. As we can all agree, this world has changed drastically over the last few months, and it's a very sad situation that is difficult to wake up to each day, knowing that lives will be lost, jobs will be lost, and just not living within our norm for who knows how long. Pretty much a wake-up call. All right, well, us here at station don't have the opportunity to work from home, shut the station down. We have a mission to do. Our oceans don't close, and our borders need us more than ever. We are truly the most adaptive service out there, with the least amount of servicemen that people envy when they see us most of the time. So arriving in Cape May for boot camp, December 1st, 98, some of you probably weren't even born. I can still envision those triangles when you get off the bus. Are they still there? All right. Woke me up, scared the heck out of me, and all I recall was a lot of screaming in the face and about 50 other recruits rushing to just get to a triangle, probably saying the same thing I said. What the heck did I just sign up for? Well, January 22nd, 99, couldn't come fast enough for graduation. So here I was in the fleet, as most can relate. First, I want to say thank you to everyone, each and every one of you, that you have made a direct impact on me being here today after 20 years of service. Time has flown by, and have to say I see so many people come and go to different units, and just love to hear some sea stories later in life at the VFW. Rhonda Bunker, Pompano Beach Boat Parade. I know you're watching from home. Thank you so much for the many great experiences working with you and your staff for the Pompano Beach Boat Parade. You are what makes this parade happen. Thanks again for introducing me to one of the United States Mint Point artists and taking me out fishing, and also glad you caught some dinner. I was starving. I didn't catch it. Stu, my man. There's not one day that goes by that nobody could hear you in that office. And I'm sure you won't leave your ID out anymore around the CO. Thank you for your wisdom, and you play a very important role here in Sector Miami, and I'm sure the people transferring in and out will say the same thing. Thank you. Mr. Hornby and Joe D'Amico, if you're not watching now, you will watch it eventually. It's amazing how it works that we're back in South Florida being part of the D7 Mafia after following each other's footsteps around the world. And Joe, I'm glad you finally got my billet in Lake Worth Inlet after several tours. You well deserved. Burp Dog, Berkey Bob, where you at? All right. Yes, the mighty Drummond was great. The migrant bus, the drug interdiction, cutter station ops, the list goes on. I'll always remember such an experience in the Caribbean chasing boats all through the day, and especially at night with no lights on. Oh, and of course, I will never forget the frozen broccoli served with the potatoes that were like jawbreakers. Being one of the oldest, being one of the oldest here at station doesn't make me the most knowledgeable. I have learned so much over the many years on how to be a better leader, mentor, and overall a go-to person, no matter what the situation was, and the best boat coxswain. No. We here at Fort Lauderdale have some of the most highly qualified coxswains in the world. I hope I made a memorable impact on your career as you have made on mine. Engineers, I know us boatswainmates, tradition is to borrow a tool with the intention of putting it back where we find it. But for some strange reason, it never gets put back, and I'm sorry. Auxiliary members, every single one of you has made an impact on not just the Coast Guard mission, but each and every shipmate that stands here today. Most notably, when we had the government shutdown. Family Appreciation Day, holiday parties, tours, rescue and survival maintenance, and educating the boating community, which led to a mass amount of boaters that may have been in distress if they did not take the class you provided. And that's just a fraction of what you do. I appreciate all the continued hard work each and every one of you do for all great service. Your staff has been such a force multiplier here in the port that is much appreciated by Broward Sheriff's Office and other partners for conducting Operation Clear Channel. While going through the relief with Chief Calvin Thompson, I don't think he knows what he's getting himself into yet. With over 300 auxiliaries, all the flotillas, dinners, meetings, events, training. Good luck, Calvin. Over the last several months, my Aunt Bernice always asked me, what is your station going to do without you? Weekly, what is your station going to do without you? Well, Aunt Bernice, the men and women here around me today have the watch. I am fully confident they will make the Coast Guard better than it was yesterday and carry out the mission without me. As we wind down my retirement ceremony, of course I will miss the unit, my shipmates, and this service. I will be starting a new career this fall with Customs and Border Protection and can't wait for the opportunity to possibly work alongside the Coast Guard again. I know my grandpa and grandma is listening. I made it. And I know you're super proud of me. Funny one right here. Lastly, I always thought I was going to say Semper Paratus at the end of my ceremony, but nope. Thank you for everyone for joining me on this very special day. Let's cut some cake and grant some liberty. BMC Adam Graber retired.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the benediction, piping ashore of Chief Graber and family, and departure of the official party.
Let's bow our heads at this time of prayer for Adam and his family. Let us pray. Father, bless BMC Graber. Bless Madison as they embark on this new journey of their lives. May he and Madison have great times building memories together as they move and hold hands and hearts together. We are grateful to him and all the men and women of the Coast Guard for their service. Thank you for this station, Fort Lauderdale, what it means to our country and means to our freedom. We can be sure that they are always Semper Paratus. Amen.